Hi, my name is Ayu Sudana. I'm the founder of Bali Beans Coffee. I'm from Bali, coming from a small village which is located in Plaga called Lawak Village. And I've been running my business from the last 8 years. Yes, so I actually born and raised in a coffee plantation. So my parents has been growing coffee since 1985. Wow, it's a bit long story because we're going back to my childhood. We did not have electricity until 1996. So I remember I used to go to school and still have a black nose every time I go to school. And every time I finish school, because the harvest time as well, one of our farm actually near to the school. So I always pack my clothes, go to school, and then after school I go straight on to the plantations. And obviously being a daughter of farmers, we only have one income, which is coffee. So my parents given me a task to help them to collect every cherry that drop under the trees. So in return, I always have they promised me to give me a bit of pocket money. And so that motivate me to help them, but at the same way also for me not to disturb them while they're working. And then, so at the same time, I also help a lot in collecting the coffee luwak because every cherry was mean a lot to us and to the family. So it was, that's very much my childhood. Indeed, it is very, very fun. And for me to look back now, I'm so glad that I experienced the part of the life where I involve a lot with nature. So every day we often collected about, probably at least 10 to 15 kilos of wild dropping of coffee luwak. And then, so the end of the harvest, obviously my parents will usually treat me for nice toys, a nice book, or nice, clothes and stuff. So every year that I get motivated to help them a lot, and then until they trust me enough to supervising the farmers that join and help us to harvesting coffee as well. Yeah, we did only once a year. So obviously this is what the different story or life that we had, we depending on pretty much on the coffee. So sometimes we don't know what we're gonna get in after harvest. Somehow we don't understand as well that time who controlling the price of the coffee. So when it's a good harvest, we have a very cheerful family. But when we don't have, we just kind of very different, and there's so much conversation between the parents and then it's four of us. So I have a four sibling actually. So I'm the third child of the family, and I have a younger brother, and then I have two brother and sister. So it was a lot for them to take care of. So not just for us as the kids, as the family, but it's also in Balinese culture. We also have to think about the tradition, going to temple. And in our village, we have at least, I think around 7 temples, which we have to go to. And the ceremony is different all the time. And then having when dad is the youngest male in the family, he's the one who inherited our old house from my grandparents. And that responsibility also even bigger as the youngest and as the person who's in charge in the family home. So financial was, it is up and down. And I said again, because it's based on the only one income we have. And then my dad has to used to kind of also doing extra work. My mom, the same thing too. So we are very hardworking family to start with. When I look back, I actually, when people say they started from zero, I started from minus. Yes, so we did not have anything. We are in the wild jungle. if we're not smart enough, if we don't know enough, or if we don't have courage to do more, we were nothing. And I'm sure so many Balinese relate to this too. But the one thing that I know since I was a little girl, like, I dream big, but not just dreaming, but working toward it. So since I was, oh my God, like I said, when I'm always, sometime I sat under the trees and just imagining what my future will be like. So that dream is really good to have, because then it gives you motivation to achieve where you want to be. So the young Ayu was very, very tough life. And that time as well, the technology, and then Bali was like, so many ways was like 30 years behind of different country or even more. And then coming from a small village like me, like we did not have electricity like since in 1996, that was the first electricity we had. And the same thing as well, the road was not really developed. So we only had started the long bridge, the longest bridge in Bali was, I think, if not mistaken, is 2009, which is not long ago, So those kind of things, it was kind of preventing us to do more and then to be more connected with the world. And I had to go to stay with a boarding school with my teacher, just because we didn't even have elementaries, the grades 7, 9, and 10 in our village. So yeah, so I have already lived out of my family since I was 11. No school that time. So for someone like 11 years old girl, small village, to come out of the comfort zone, leave my parents behind so that I can go to school and to kind of working toward to my dream and goal. So yeah, so that's the not the previous house actually. Yeah, that's the story basically. Yeah, yes, very much. Yeah. It's so funny because you in the small place you only have like small TV at the time. I still remember like a very big TV, and I watch movies, obviously telenovela with my parents when we have our time in the evening after farm. I'm always imagining myself driving a nice car, looking really good, looking really beautiful. Even though when I was a kid I looked like a monkey, and because it's small and I'm just so like I'm very dirty because I play a lot in the farm. I climb a lot of trees. I fell a lot from the trees, and then I was so dark, and then it was like, oh my God, if I have to show you my childhood picture, you're gonna laugh. That wasn't me, but yeah, it was me. And then so for me, it was imagining what life would be like in the city, to have a good privilege and to have everything that you want, you given. So that was my trip, because that time for us, like we didn't see the future, so that was my trip. They always encourage us to do better. So for them, being a farmers, and the same thing, the background also where they come from and how they brought up as well is completely even much more harder than mine. So comparing to look back, like, okay, we started remind us about my parents, even like, oh my God, the life story they share with me and with my family is a very, very, very hard, short, and sad as well. So as we grow, we all motivate each other, and then they work really hard and they try to work smarter with what they have. So they always want us to be success. They always want us to be the best possible and to be nice as possible at the same time. So from we were kids, somehow with 4 of my siblings right now, we are very, I would say, to look back to where we actually come from and then to what we actually achieve right now, I would say we are very proud. And then we couldn't ask for more of how our parents encouraging us to be what we are today. But it took us a long time also to realize the one thing they never encourage us is to be a farmers. So that's why I think the start of my journey after the bomb happened in 2005 in Bali is two places actually, and one of them is very near to where I used to work in the restaurants and the seafood Jimbaran. And then this was the second bomb happened after 2002. So the tourism was collapsed. So, the encouragement of my parents for us to be successful. And that's why we are focused on working in hospitality, that was very kind of a common things Balinese people do back then. Bali just started to boom and people hear a lot more about us and a lot of people coming into Bali. And so tourism changed our lifestyle, I would say, in Bali. We graduated in hospitality. I learned speaking English by, in school, take courses, and also working in the restaurants in the seafood place. And that's how I actually developed hospitality background of my career. Yeah. It wasn't the first job, very, very first job. I had a bit more saddest story after that. Before that. So it was kind of like, I would say the first proper job that I have started is in the Jimbaran seafood restaurant. Yeah. No, I'm going to move back now a little bit because I don't want to be jumping in and then, all the story. So age 14, my older brother was just graduate from university. So my parents has a strategy, I don't know what your parents were like, everyone parents here in Bali, my parents' strategy was to send my older sister to school first, expecting that she will look after the youngest siblings, right? And then unfortunately it happened, obviously being a woman, the temptation is hard and my sister got pregnant when she was 17. So fail. The first trial is fail. Yeah, the plan A is out, done. And then the second one, which is my older brother, AD. And then they decided obviously to put all the investment on AD and then sending him to school diploma. Come on, someone from a small village in Lawak in 2000. Oh my God. And then so they managed to do that. They worked so hard. So that's why my parents has worked so hard as possible to make sure that we have a good future. Unfortunate incident happened. My brother got motorbike accident in Bali. After graduate, he's on the way home from Bandung and Basar to tell my parents that he has given green light to go to Singapore to work abroad. But because of, the excitement, and it was dark, it was raining and stuff, so he got a motorbike accident and he was hit by a truck and he almost lost one of his legs, completely broken. And then that time, my family financial was literally already in a zero position, if I have to say, because they spent a lot on my sister, they spent a lot on my older brother, and then they have to bring the news to me that they won't be able to send me to high school. Yes. So yeah, that was a bit of in a way sorry, I was just sorry. So it was really hard for me for age 14 to understand your parents can't even send you to school and stuff, right? So it was very challenging. And then I decided to look after my brother while he was in bed. We have nothing. And then I was looking after him for about 6 months and accept the fact that the school was not for me. And then to look all your friends in the village, they are so happy. Their first day at school and all kind of, sorry. I'm so sorry. This wasn't planned, sorry. No, that's okay. I just can't do that. Oh God, sorry, this is live. I didn't expect to be so emotional today. I'm gonna have vegetable coffee. Um, yeah. So age 14, and I'm like, okay, I decided while I was working in the, helping my brother to recover, I actually plant my coffee trees, which is there was the coffee plantations right now.